Hi, this is Lisa Sharkey at Harper Collins, Book Studio 16. I am with Amy Zerner and Monte Farber. We had a psychic interruption, which sometimes happens when you have people that are traveling at very high energy levels. They interfere with the electronics. And so, you know, as soon as Amy started reading a card, the entire system shut down on us. And this has happened before when we've had psychics and readers in the studio. Yes. So don't worry about that. That just means clearly they're operating on a different plane, and we're back on the Facebook Live platform right now. We've come down from the astral plane, and we're talking about signs and seasons, which is really the most unusual and beautiful new cookbook to come around in a long time. I mean, a lot of people can say, I've got a restaurant, which is great, and here's my wonderful, delicious recipes, or I have a TV show, and this is great. But how many people can say, you're an Aries, and I'm going to tell you what I can cook for you tonight? Yeah. And that's what Monte and Amy have done here. They have worked tirelessly to create specific recipes that are based in the truth about the astrological signs. So we also have a contest that I want Monte to talk about right now, because you can win a reading and you can win some fabulous jewelry.
You can win a 1.5 hour reading with me, which is worth $500. I charge a lot because I'm the best. And you can also win one of Amy's amazing astrology necklaces. Amy is a designer for Bergdorf Goodman.
Whatever the winner's sign is.
Yes, and the third place
is a printout chart.
We're going to print
your transit report
for,
and your
for
natal
1 year,
chart.
and then fourth place is you get a signed copy of Signs and Seasons, because you'll already have one copy because you pre-ordered it. You go to our website and show them that you've pre-ordered the book. This is the uncorrected galley proofs.
So before April 30th, because we're going to announce the winner on May 1st.
Yeah, because
it's a really good price on Amazon.
It is, and the cookbook is going to be hardcover. This is the galley that's sent to the press and things.
Full color.
Full color pictures, photographs that I took, all photographed in Amy's studio.
So yeah, please pre-order.
Yeah.
And how did you come up with an idea like this?
Oh my God, we've been studying astrology for so many years, and it's psychology, really, why you're the way you are, why Aquarius is the way he is.
And we got married in 1978. One of our best men is John Okus, Chef John Okus, who we did this book with. You can see his name right over there.
So whenever we would
He's an astrologer.
Yeah, we would talk about food, signs, and seasons.
And he's a personal chef for some amazing people out in the Hamptons, cooks for the celebrities.
I love to cook. And we love to make things personal. So it all made sense. It kind of fell into place. Like all the books that we do, it's like we used our intuition. We focused and studied
and we love astrology.
Talked to everyone. I would sort of analyze. Lisa, I know you're a Scorpio.
The chocolate sign.
Yes.
Well, what is my main course?
There's a few. Each sign has a few.
So do you want to go through the book? I think people tell us your signs. I realize that some of you saw a different Facebook Live a few minutes ago, but then the astral energies sort of interrupted it. But we're back again now. Tell us your sign. You can ask a question about what foods would be right.
I can give you an intention for spring for the new season.
Chelsea Lynn Tresp Green says that she and her husband are both Taurus.
Oh my God! I'm turned to avocado lime pie.
I was just talking to a tourist friend today, and she said key lime pie was her favorite. Yeah, so mine is a little different. We use raw almonds, we use tofu, we use fresh almond juice, figs for sweetener.
Yum.
That's what I said. Amazing. We do a little different maple syrup, which is magical.
So So there's a lot of health in these recipes as well.
Oh yeah, it tells you. John uses his tricks and shares his tricks with everybody.
But health is different for each sign, right? Yeah. Some people need more carbs, and some people need more.
Whatever.
Protein.
More chocolate.
I need small bites. I'm an Aries, so I need little things all day long.
Right, and even though everyone thinks Aries is the ram, it's also the rabbit. And so you have carrot cakes.
Carrot cupcakes, which are sweetened with honey, and it has coconut flour, and it has almond flour, fresh carrots and walnuts, and you have to have cream cheese icing.
This is
Gina says she's an Aries, and she's looking for some health advice with, she lost a lot of weight in the last 5 years.
that's great.
That's wonderful.
I mean, you wanted to or you didn't want to?
I don't know, but can you use this book to lose weight if you wanted to? Like, if you eat more foods for your signs?
It's
Yes.
not a diet book.
It's not a diet
It's a
book.
delicious cookbook, really, is the first thing it is, with 96 recipes.
But you eat right for your sun sign. I mean, you know, eat right for your blood type, but this is eat right for your sun sign. So I would say, as an Aries, I'm recommending to you to eat little things and more often, because we burn because we're a fire sign, we burn our energy. So you have to keep constant and high protein for Aries is good
And,
too.
well, speaking of high protein, it says deviled eggs and Diablo slaw.
Right, the
Which
eggs
is
is
one
a
of our
magical,
favorites.
spring food, which is Aries time food, and that keeps you going.
Yeah, and it's arranged by season. There's the 4 seasons, and each sign has its own starters, its own sides, its own mains, and its own
And
desserts.
vegetarian,
Several of
lots
them.
for vegetarians.
Lots for vegetarians. Some
Fish for
gluten-free
every
stuff.
sign.
Yep.
So
very-
Organized Hamptons is on. They say, hi, strangers, can't wait for the book.
Hi.
We've got more Aries. We've got Kim Danbert. She says, hi, Monty and Amy, I'm an Aries. We've
Lots of
got
Aries.
the Taurus. So Regina Redmond is a Libra. Deborah
Okay.
Shirley says, good afternoon, looking
Hey,
forward
Deborah.
to the cookbook. So once again, this has been a labor of love, and this
sure
is the
has.
most unusual cookbook. Who do you think is the right audience? Who will want to give this
You know,
book
it's
as a
not
gift
just
or
people-
buy it for
I think
themselves?
everyone's interested in learning more about themselves and learning more about the people they love. And so I think it's for everyone, even if you have a superficial interest in astrology, if you want to delve further. The writing is so beautiful that Monte did and
Thank
that
you.
John did, which takes you through the whole symbolic meaning of the seasons, and it has a lot of mythology and stories like that.
And it shows the seasonal aspect of both food and astrology. There's never been a book like this, which is the reason that the 2 Aries were interested in it, because Aries as a sign likes to pioneer stuff.
So it makes a great Mother's Day gift.
Oh,
Yeah, we were thinking-
definitely.
Yeah, because Mother's Day is the biggest restaurant day of the year.
I made lots of illustrations, one for each sign, that have all the foods. It was like a collage with all the foods and wallpapers and flowers of each sign. It's very beautiful.
Yeah, we like to give too much.
So let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what your sun sign is. Let us know what your significant other's sun sign is. Kim Danbert says her husband is a Virgo, but he needs to gain weight.
Ah.
Yes, 'cause
Well,
all
then
the
eat the
Virgos
Taurus foods. They're all
The
rich and
Virgos that we know eat a lot, and they're
amazing.
slim.
And they don't gain weight.
They have a fast metabolism usually.
Well, someone said they were Libra, so for Libra you have broccoli, rabe sausage, and white beans with penne. Because John, like I said, John is a chef, and he learned to cook at his mother's knee and from his grandmother. They're both from Sicily.
And for Virgos, they're so picky and finicky. So even if he's thin, you know, he's very picky about what he wants to eat. But, you know, Virgos are very clean and pure, and it rules health. It actually rules food.
It does. So you have polenta bites with sage hazelnut pesto.
That sounds perfect enough for a Virgo.
Yeah, because it's little, and the pesto will help him gain weight.
Now, what about, I'm going to ask a personal question. My daughter is a Libra.
Okay.
I'd like her to crave sweets less.
Yes.
Because she's a teenager, and I think it's not as healthy as a diet as she could have. Even though I try to keep it out of the house, she's always going for the sweets.
So a delicious soup, we have butternut squash soup, which has a little sweetness.
Oh, she
to
loves
it.
butternut squash
Yeah,
soup.
and it's so creamy and smooth. I mean, Libra is very aesthetic. It has to look pretty. It has to
Yes.
be pretty color. It has to be served in a nice dish. You know, Libra is all about beauty, and it's ruled by Venus.
And it's funny because here under Libra, it's not funny, but butternut squash lasagna is another thing for Libra.
That's right, because you know that squash has a little sweetness, and in the soup we can throw a little maple syrup in there, but it's healthy. It's not overly sweet.
So butternut squash lasagna sounds incredible. Why don't you take us through some of the ingredients in butternut squash lasagna, because that is so different and so
We really
tantalizing.
invented this, and this took a few going through of trial and error.
Yes,
It
and-
has scallions, it has mushrooms, it has chard all chopped up. These are layers, so it's like not really a pasta lasagna. It's a vegetable lasagna. It has cheese. It has a couple of different kinds of cheese: pepper jack, Gruyere, ricotta.
Wow,
eggs.
pepper jack, so it's got a kick to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
John
you've
likes
got
that.
spicy and sweet at the same time. Lovely
Yes, and
combination
it's comfort
of flavors.
food. It's our kind of comfort food, right?
And for every sign, when you're eating the food that you like, you're less inclined to feel empty and want to eat and overeat, because that's one of the reasons people overeat is they feel empty. There's an emptiness that they're trying to fill on a spiritual level. And when you feel spiritually fulfilled, which is what this book is also designed to do, that's what the writing is designed to do, is to fulfill your spirit, to understand the connection between the seasons and astrology and you, because it's really about you.
It's all about balance.
Yeah.
I mean, Libra is about balance in particular, but what we eat to balance what we need and what we crave and to get all that, it's a balancing act. But we also talk about the personality behind, so we have the layers of the lasagna, but there's layers of reasoning that Libras do with, it's an air sign, it's a communication sign.
Yeah, the Organized Hamptons person says this Libra would like some of that lasagna.
And we sprinkle sunflower seeds on top.
Oh my
Yes.
God, that sounds wonderful. As the mother of a Libra, it's something I would want to feed to my Libra
Yes.
child.
And it's so good for you. As I said, Amy and I have both been eating well, since we met. And her family had all these amazing recipes, because on her mother's side, they go back before the revolution. So they had some, and your grandmother used to do cooking.
That's right. I have my mother's pea soup, and John has some of the pasta recipes from his grandmother.
He makes a pesto with arugula that is unbelievable.
That's one of my favorite. It has arugula and scallions. We use a lot of scallions for some reason.
We do. Actually, they're growing on our lawn right now.
So Deborah's saying you guys are making her hungry.
Yes. Well, what do you think we feel like with all this food?
Yeah,
here?
she's a Gemini sun
This
sign
isn't
and
fake.
Gemini rising.
Gemini?
Yeah, Gemini.
So Gemini rules the hands, and we talk about finger food. Gemini's got to multitask all the time, so
Right.
they need food that they can walk around and talk on the telephone while they're eating.
And it can't be boring, because that's death to a Gemini.
One of my
boring.
favorite Gemini foods, I stuff endive with chopped up radicchio and walnuts and Parmesan. So it has a variety. Geminis get bored so easily, especially Gemini with Gemini rising, right?
Yeah, we had that yesterday, actually.
And a little tangerine juice for a little tang.
Ooh, I love the tangerine juice. Nancy Smith wants to know a good meal for a Capricorn mom to make for her son, who was born on the 9th of March in 1996.
Well, I turned to Kale Salad, which is one of our favorites at our house.
Yeah, so we always want the kids to have more greens. So my kale salad I make with kale chopped up, lemon and oil, work it into the leaves, let it sit overnight. It makes it all chewy.
And 2 nights won't be a bad thing. It'll make it even softer.
Oh, yummy.
It has quinoa in it. It has cranberries. All the good stuff.
And it has a little cheese, right?
Yeah, and pine nuts.
The pine nuts you toast, so it makes the house smell great.
Yeah, you can throw in feta cheese.
Yeah.
We're not locked into anything in the enchanted world.
Yeah. So what about, I also have a Sagittarius son who, as a child, was extremely picky.
He must be a Virgo rising.
I don't know, December 1st, 1990, but he would only eat pasta if it had even a little bit of parsley on it. He wouldn't eat
He
it.
didn't like
But
the
you
green
know
food.
what I find that those kind of Sagittarians get more adventurous as they get older.
Yeah, and then he moved on to escargot.
Yeah.
It was the
Yeah, all of a
strangest
sudden,
thing.
yeah. So they like a little foreign touch, a little exotic thing, because they love to travel. Sagittarians
Love.
So they pick up little, if they try it in another country, and then see it here. So we have sort of a curry, and also plum. It's rose purple. We bring the colors into it. So I have a plum upside down cake for
Plum
Sagittarius.
upside down
That's
cake.
oh
Oh
my
my
God.
God.
Yeah,
And it's
with
one of the best.
agave.
And you
One of
should
the
wear
best
that
things.
when you're guys, you're dressed to be serving a plum
I
upside
do
down
like
cake.
it, but how often can it? Well,
And there's all kinds
it's
of
really
great.
pretty looking too. It's like
photographs.
plums all over. It
Yeah,
has
so tell us
cornmeal,
about
has
the
almond
ingredients
milk.
for the plum upside down cake, because
So
that sounds amazing.
Upside down cake has a sort of syrup that locks into the fruit. So I make that with agave and butter. Then you put all the plums and make it like a pinwheel, a plum color, and it has cornmeal and almond flour because Monte has to be gluten free. So some of my recipes are gluten free. Not all, and you can substitute if you need to. And a little apple butter sweetener. So good, right? That's one of your favorite. He's
And
not
it
a
al-
Sagittarius either, but he loves it when Sagittarians come over and we can make it.
Well, that's one of the points of the book is it's the time of year. Everybody's sort of feeling a little Leo in the summer, and everyone's feeling a little Aquarius when they've been
Yes,
locked
we can all share
in their
that
house
energy.
all winter. Even in the other climates, the Aquarian feeling is let's experiment, let's do something new. This is getting a little boring.
That's right.
And Aries is all about the spring feeling, and of course it reverses in the southern
Everything's a little
hemisphere.
spooky, mysterious during Scorpio.
Ooh, yes.
We have
Chocolate-
pumpkin stuff.
And chocolate, yeah, pumpkin risotto for Scorpio.
Love that. You know, Lindsay Hayes is saying, can't wait to get my copy of Signs and Seasons. Everything looks amazing. Kim wants to know about the plum upside down cake. Are they fresh plums?
Yes.
Yes.
And
they
Susan
have to be
says,
just right, just right.
love that you use agave and gluten-free is so right now. Phoebe sang Dobson, hi, you beautiful people, so nice
Hey,
to see
Phoebe.
you. Martha McAleer Morcelli is saying, love the color palette.
Yes. I know she's an artist too, and you know, being an artist, cooking is like making collage, making a painting.
And if you pre-order, we send you this PDF that has some of the recipes that didn't make it into the book, including one of my favorites, the brownies.
Right, so we put it in the PDF that you get as well as enter the contest.
Yeah, so you enter the contest, you get entered in the contest, and you get sent the PDF that has a whole...
Six extra recipes.
Success, which is like a Beltane feast, right?
Yes.
That's the theme. Since the book comes out on Beltane, May 1st, May Day, we decided to do it as a Beltane feast. So you get this whole PDF if you pre-order.
Well, in fact, we have a lot of holiday celebrations and how to use the book that way.
Yeah, at the back of the book.
Nancy Smith is saying she has 2 summer Gemini and Leo babies and 1 winter Pisces, and she always cooked for the family unless it was their birthday.
Oh, that's nice.
That is nice.
You know, Leo's, the kitchen is like a stage. It's like a performance. They have to make sure everyone's happy and
Yep.
entertained. I love visiting a Leo, right?
Yeah, usually their kitchen is like a stage. They'll have the kitchen so that it's somehow in the living room, or else there's a pass-through so that you can watch them on their little
And
stage.
since it's ruled by the sun, we have golden, you know, a lot of golden foods.
And for Pisces, I just opened to hazelnut sweet potatoes.
Yum.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I'm married to a Pisces. It's funny because he actually really likes key lime pie.
No, that's just it. Everyone has their taste, but it's just fun to learn the recipes in terms of how they relate to the signs. It's not like you have to do it any particular way.
But it's fun to have a dinner party. So
Yes.
So talk to us about an ideal sort of meal from the book for a dinner party.
So, we just recommend, say you have a variety of 6 signs coming. So you would pick a starter for one of them and a salad for another and a meat dish. I mean, it's always good to have that many dishes anyway because some people don't eat meat. And then you can have a vegetarian.
And if you had
use your imagination, what sounds balanced. And that is such food for conversation.
It's amazing.
And you can look up at dinner. You can say, I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, because there's a chapter on how each sign eats, how each sign cooks, and how each sign entertains. Like if you're having a preponderance of Aries, or if it's an Aries birthday, have a lot of starters because they would prefer that to main courses.
That's
and
right.
that's mentioned in there. But little tips like that.
That's right.
They would, like when Amy goes out to a restaurant, it could be the best restaurant in the world. She usually has just 2 appetizers.
Well, Charles Garland, I guess, is an Aries because he's March 31st birthday and
Yes.
Born in
Happy
1959. So happy birthday, Charles Garland. And he wants to know what fish dishes do you recommend?
We have a few.
For an Aries?
Yes.
And so, Aries like a little spice to kick it up. I mean, check out exactly.
So
did you
today,
hate
Marcia,
spicy?
today you are 58 years old, Charles. So happy
Charles.
birthday.
Sorry, Charles. I'm finding it.
And I think that it's important to say that, this book isn't only recipes for those of you just joining us.
That's true.
I mean, we have written, Monte and Amy
Yeah.
have written, but Monte has done a lot of the writing about the meaning of the seasons and
Yes,
the change
exactly,
of
and the
seasons.
signs.
We're going through a very interesting time in our sort of global climate where the seasons don't quite feel as though they're setting up the way they used to. It almost seems like winter starts later and ends later.
I love what you said before about it went out like a sea lion. That March went out like a sea lion. Because New York City is underwater today.
But these are the sriracha.
Charlie, these are the best.
I'm like looking across straight here.
So tell us about these because we haven't seen these since the last Facebook Live.
Okay, so these are made with fresh salmon. If you were in a pinch, you could use canned salmon, but I like to sear the salmon, put a little oil olive oil and lemon and sear it till it's not all the way cooked. Then we work it into all these other ingredients, which are butter.
You
can
you
use
love
bell-
butter.
I love
use
the way
red-
she says it.
She says it like
That's
butter.
what makes it good. We all know that. So red bell pepper chopped up, which if you're not allergic to,
But we don't put it
yeah,
in
because
these.
red is Aries, red foods. And
Amy has a pepper allergy.
it's a little Tabasco and
Yeah.
Dijon, all these things with a little spice, and some dill, chopped up dill.
And sometimes people wonder, well, can I call and find out what people's signs are? Nowadays, everybody calls ahead to find out what people's allergies are, so it's the same thing.
That's right. And I put tartar sauce into it. So then you make your patties, dip it in egg and panko breadcrumbs, and you can bake. I bake these. You don't have to fry them. They're so good.
That is
Wish you were
absolutely
here.
delicious.
Like I said, better than my grandma's salmon cakes, and she was legendary in my family for them.
So tell us where you're watching from. Tell us what your astrological sign is. Tell us what your relative's astrological signs or somebody that you're very interested in wooing them. We were on this trail of conversation previously, a way to a man or a woman's heart
Yep.
is through their
Desserts.
stomach. So
Well, I
let's
say desserts,
talk.
right?
Just read us some of the desserts so that we
Okay.
can all have our mouths water right
So-
now.
I was saying that Monty loves the chestnut chocolate mousse.
Yes, he does.
For you, Lisa, we have chocolate chip cookies
We
that
talk-
are good to eat during a seance or when you're doing your tarot readings.
And we have the avocado pie.
That's for
avocado
Taurus.
key lime pie we talked about, which is
Yeah, Taurus likes rich and creamy.
Talk about the avocado key lime pie because I love the color of a key lime pie, and I'm wondering when you put the avocado in.
oh, it's great.
Does it
The
make it that
avocado
much
makes it
deeper green?
Yeah, it makes it green. What are you doing?
I don't know. Well, I thought you wanted the page.
And it
Though.
has
That's the
coconut.
photograph.
Yeah,
you
it
can't
doesn't-
eat that.
It's black and white here.
So here's Oklahoma. We've got a
There'll
Gemini
be
from
color.
Oklahoma.
There'll be color.
We've got a Virgo on a gluten-free, low-glycemic plan from Cloudland, Georgia. A Libra. We've got Deborah who says her brother's a Scorpio and chef. I'm sorry you were all underwater, bright and sunny in Tampa today. Thank you, Deborah Shirley in Tampa.
Oh, Deborah, we'll fix
Deborah.
your wagon.
Marty Johnson, she's a Taurus in Pittsburgh. Have we done a lot of Taurus meals?
We're not. We're just like talking about the different things. Well, we're just talking about the pie, which is Taurus.
The quiche is Taurus with potatoes.
Oh, I want to
Hearty.
hear
Taurus
more about
likes
the
hearty.
quiche. Quiche is such a comfort food.
It is, and that's very Taurus, earthy. The potatoes. You know what I put in it? Potato chips.
And you can and you can do any of these recipes gluten free, couldn't you?
Yes.
With the flours, you
Yeah,
can
because people that are
substitute.
gluten free are used to putting their own flour or finding their own pasta that they like to balance it. So we didn't get too heavily in, but a lot of the desserts are gluten free because it's hard to find really good gluten free desserts, and we came up with really yummy ones.
And I've been gluten free since I'm a child. I was original gangster, OG gluten free.
I have tahini lemon bars for Gemini.
Oh, talk about the tahini lemon bars. Those really, that's one of my favorite recipes in the book, and I want everyone here to hear a little bit more about the tahini lemon bars because I
Well, I
think
always think of Gemini's a little citrusy.
and the Mediterranean flair of a tahini lemon bar.
Yeah, because that's healthy. You get the protein from the tahini. It's sweetened with agave. You have a bite that is like a little meal, a little tiny meal. I don't like desserts that are overly sugary. So we do have a big tart that has whipped cream and
I'm not complaining.
that's for Virgo. The Virgo tart has little berries all over it, arranged quite perfectly. We know Virgos want it to be perfect.
Here's the tahini lemon bar.
So what else is in this almond meal? I experimented a lot with the different flours, almond flour, coconut sugar. This is sweetened also with a little rice malt syrup, coconut milk.
Yummy. That
Tahini.
sounds amazing. Now, how long does that have to, is that you have to bake that, correct?
First you make the crust with the almonds and the coconut oil. The coconut oil makes the almonds stick together and you press it down into the pan. Then you make the filling, which is with little tahini and coconut milk and maple syrup. Maca also is a very interesting sweetener. Cinnamon, nutmeg. We kind of make a little balance so it all comes out with the perfect taste. And then you put a glaze on top with rice malt syrup, lemon juice, and a little more tahini, so it makes a little layered look.
Wow, that
And you can
sounds
serve it with
amazing.
berries. It's so good.
So Phoebe sang Dobson saying her partner is an Aries, same birthday as Amy, and he's vegan. She says, I cook for him all the time, but I need to change it up. Any recommendations for something to make him feel great?
On my birthday?
Yeah, and which is also Zane's birthday. How about roasted radishes?
They're
Ooh.
red, like for an Aries. It's so easy, you know, because Aries like things fast. When they get famished,
Yes.
right?
You don't want to stand between an Aries
They
and
go
their
from
food.
0 to 100 like I need food.
Well, this is moussaka, but there must be a way
That's
of
a little
ma-
more complicated.
And
It
it-
has,
and it has meat, I think.
right, she
So-
wants, but the radishes, so you cut the ends off the radishes, cut them in 4, and roast them with a little oil on in the oven, so they get a little bit soft. And then the dressing has wasabi and rice vinegar. It's so good and easy, and butter.
I
What a-
love rice vinegar and wasabi. Those are
So you drizzle that over. I can't tell you, it's simple, but it's so good.
And here's one of the best recipes for Aries
Yes,
for
this is-
vegan. This is like the national dish of Sicily.
The chickpeas rice balls.
Yeah, the arancini. I don't
It's
know.
red pepper flakes because Aries like a little kick.
Yeah, that's that. I don't know if you've ever made that for them, but that's any Italian
That's a little
household.
surprise inside.
Yeah, with like a little cheese. Is
Yeah,
that-
some of the with some of the recipes are faster and simpler, and some are more complicated. Whatever you have time to do, if you're
So-
making a special occasion.
Susan says she's never heard of maca. I think probably a lot of people haven't heard of maca. Tell us, what is maca?
It's a South American,
Root.
It's a root, and then you get the powder. And most of these things are available in health food stores or
And thanks to
online.
online, everything is available online.
And it's a good sweetener. Very interesting.
So
we-
is-
we
do-
tried
can
to
you
make
put
a
it in
lot
your
of
coffee, or do you just put it in?
No, it's
It's for
better for
cooking.
baking.
Yeah.
Like stevia is good maybe for your coffee, but not for baking. I've never made a good dessert with stevia.
So
Yeah, there's
Nancy
a-
wants to know, I'm sorry, what is Zane's favorite meal?
Roast beef,
All day.
filet mignon.
Yeah, and if we're eating it, he has to see what it is, or else he's not very happy about it. But he gets real shrimp. One of his
He eats
favorite.
very well. He likes organic.
Yeah.
You know, they know. The animals know when it's pure or when it has chemicals in it.
He brought Amy a present for her birthday. We won't talk about it, but it was good for a cat.
All right, well, we'll
It's
talk about
16.
that later.
Yeah.
So I just want to remind people, we're with Amy Zerner and Monte Farber. They have written Signs and Seasons, an astrology cookbook, the first ever cookbook of its kind,
That's
to
true.
pair your meals with your signs. And it's such a great idea. People are always saying, how can I be creative? How can I do something interesting for a dinner party
Yes.
in the summer? How can I have a great summer outdoorsy thing, even a potluck? Get the cookbook, bring something for someone at the party, and you could even send out an email saying, here's the signs. Pick which sign you want to cook for
Yeah.
and make it and
Yes.
bring it. So
And so it's even fun like that. But on the other hand, people that really love astrology, it's because it tells them deeply about themselves, how individual they are, and how to understand other people and how individual they are. So, I mean, if you really want to delve deeper into astrology, this book has so much more information.
And if you know anyone who's interested in astrology, it makes the perfect Mother's Day present for a mother who's interested in astrology.
That's right.
tell us a little bit about the history of astrology for people that might not know. You guys are such experts.
Yes, it's tied in a lot in the book.
Well, the oldest profession is staying alive, and the first question that was probably asked is what's to eat. And astrology started when they noticed that the moon changed shape and happened every 28 days. And then they also noticed that the sun was in different parts of the sky because the moon would be in different parts of the sky. And the word planet means wanderers. So watching the night sky and the moon's position is really what started astrology. And then they noticed how it corresponded to things on Earth because they needed to know when the growing would start, when the herds would return for hunter-gatherers. So astrology has been connected with food since there were people.
That's
Since-
right.
Yeah.
Like now, during the time of Aries, everything's starting to grow and come up through the soil, and that's very much like an Aries, with the head starting to break through and peek out. So sprouts, anything that's sprouted is very good for Aries, has the energy of the food source, the new beginning.
So you don't need to just simply eat for your sun sign. You
No,
should
it's-
also be eating for
The
the
season.
time of year that
Yes.
we are in currently.
Yes.
Yeah, and everyone has in their chart 10 planets. So yes, you're in Aries, but you could have your moon in another sign. Your rising sign could be different.
If you happen to know that, you can use the book in a completely different way.
Yeah, and each recipe has some factoids about astrology, but nicely done. And we're not trying to ram it down people's throats. It's all woven in artistically the way Amy does her art and her clothing for Bergdorf Goodman.
So when was the first astrological reading where there was an actual charts set up and somebody became, it's probably one of the first professions.
The oldest ones were in Sumeria, but over 5,000 years ago, like the Jewish calendars, like 57 something. That's around when you have the astrology, but astrology just used to be done for the royalty because what affected the royalty affected the people.
Yes.
The first time democracy started was when a non-royal had their chart done. We were on the road to America.
So we have some great comments. Marty Johnson says, going to order the maca, so it's here when my cookbook arrives.
Aw,
I've not
thank you.
used that. Susan says, I just love the idea of planning a meal for a fella from the book, an extra layer of love.
Aww.
And then Organized Hamptons, I cook mostly for Leos and my cat biz partner. The Leo kitchen setup you described is exactly how my dad built his house kitchen leading into the open dining room, living room.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
It's showbiz. Leo is showbiz.
So tell us a little bit about the recipes that emanate from your family history that are included in this book.
Well, my mother, actually, when we first conceived of the book, my mother was alive, and we all kind of came up with some of our favorite things. So, like I said, I have my mom's pea soup, which is a winter recipe, which is very nurturing. I mean, it's dried peas, and you have to cook it for a long time and chop up I mean, to me, that's a meditation. It's a meditation on my mother's memory, because the chopping makes me focus, and the smells in the home. I mean, aromas are so important.
Yes, I mean, right now we've been smelling all this food.
And they trigger the memories. I mean, some signs are more into that, Capricorns and traditional things that might be in their family, or Cancers, which rules the moon and rules the mother.
And the stomach.
They would be very attached to family recipes too.
Yes.
But I think that's a wonderful lineage to share recipes with other people in your family that came. I have my grandmother's, writing on little file cards of her recipes. She was a Taurus. Very rich appetizers and
yeah, she had
cocktail
chocolate
parties.
every day, shrimp all the time.
That's right.
No vegetables. Lived to 102.
That's what's beautiful about astrology. It helps you understand the people you love.
Yeah, and we want this to be everyone's favorite go-to cookbook, because the recipes in here, they're not esoteric. They're the kind of things you want to eat every day.
And they're going to come out good.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah,
been
I mean,
tested.
so, in summary, I mean, this is not some kind of a weird, quirky
No,
book. It
not
just
at all.
has an amazing theme to it. But inside the book are rich,
Yes.
fun to prepare, and varied recipes, and also a lot of beautiful artwork, beautiful photographs. And if you pre-order the book
Yes, you
before the end of next month, then you too potentially could win what?
a reading with me about an hour and a half, which is a
An
500
astrology reading.
astrology reading, but I'm
Which
also a
Monte's so
psychic
good.
and a tarot author, tarot cards author, so we can do whatever you want.
And I'm a jewelry designer as well as a fashion designer.
For
and
Bergdorf Goodman,
I
the
have
finest specialty store in the world.
some beautiful zodiac jewelry, and you can win your sign.
And actually, we're going to be doing a book signing at Bergdorf Goodman.
Yeah, May 4th.
They sell books there too, believe it or not, on
I'm
the
so
7th
excited
floor.
about that. 'cause
That's
I sell
amazing.
my
I've had a
books.
lot of authors, but nobody's ever had a signing at Bergdorf.
They have
Yeah.
very choice book department, beautiful photography books and coffee table books, and now they have.
And they were happy to order it. We didn't have to force them.
So
'Cause
sorry, I just was going to ask you one more question
Sure.
from the wonderful people that are chiming in. Susan has a bed and breakfast on Lookout Mountain.
Of course,
And
in
she
Georgia.
wants to know what's a good recipe for breakfast this time of year.
Oh, for breakfast.
That's interesting.
No, that's different. I like apple crisp for breakfast. What's better than that?
Let's see.
I would agree that apple crisp for breakfast is pretty amazing and delicious.
Yeah, because we don't really have breakfast foods.
Well, just the deviled eggs, but that's not really breakfast. is it?
No.
They actually still have deviled eggs on the menu at Bergdorf's
How
in their
about-
fancy
Well,
restaurant.
I would say leftover for dinner from dinner the night before
You
is
must
the
be a
best.
musician.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I have a peach, blueberry.
Susan's
crisp.
happy with the apple crisp.
Okay.
Very, very happy.
Oh, good. That's Amy's favorite thing from growing up in Pennsylvania.
How comfort food, right?
Yeah.
I love a baked apple.
Yes,
Ah.
yes.
And you know, the funny thing about food, when you talk about food, it's the one it's universal.
We have to eat, right?
Right. It's like the what enabled everybody to learn all the different languages. I forget what it was called, the Rosetta Stone.
That's right. It's so important for your health to eat what's appropriate to you, and sometimes it takes a while to find out what works for you and what doesn't work for you.
One of the funny things about how you eat is people who have cracked dishes that they save because of...
Oh, that's a Pisces thing.
That's a Pisces thing. Now, I'm an Aquarius, but my moon is in Pisces.
Because everything's sentimental. They don't want to throw it out even if it's cracked.
So they fix it. And then I found out in Japan, that's a tradition, that if you break something that means something to you, you fix it and you take the cracks and coat it in gold.
Well, it's called wabi-sabi.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ariel Ford wrote a book about
Yes,
that.
right,
yes.
So
exactly.
you want to look for things that have imperfections.
So so it's all about
Unless you're
things that
Virgo.
mean something to you. And what means more to you than the family recipes and recipes that become your go-to recipes?
So through the book, this is black and white. It's going to be color, but we have the whole menus for each season. So this is summer, and it has a little tag. You can tell if it's for Cancer, Leo, or Virgo.
Keep holding it up because Alex is going to zoom in.
And Amy and Chef John Okus worked on this book every day for a couple of years, deciding what went with what and how to make it exactly
Yeah, we would
right.
make lists and eliminate things.
I mean,
and
this is one heck of a great gift.
yes.
Yes,
And
it really
It's really
is.
chock full, 96 recipes, plus all the beautiful writing that tells
And
you.
our
about-
amazing editor, Libby Edelson,
Yes.
who
she
just-
really guided us so wonderfully.
she
and
really
Claudia
did.
Bateau.
And Claudia Bateau.
Well, we are so excited that you're here. You're going to come back in about a month. We're going to do another one of these here from
Sure.
HarperCollins, Book Studio 16. So please share this with your friends. Let everybody know that there's an opportunity for them to win some really cool stuff if they pre-order the book. And if you're in New York, you can see Monte and Amy at their Bergdorf Goodman book signing.
Yeah.
You'll get all the details right here on the Enchanted World page. And once again, thank you. We are going to hopefully, I want that carrot muffin. It looks so,
Yeah.
So good.
so
It's here
good. So
for
why don't
you.
you hold that up and Alex will zoom in and as we say goodbye. Have a wonderful Friday. Stay dry, people. And thank you so much, Monte and Amy, for coming in and sharing our time with us today.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Lisa.
Lisa.
We couldn't have done this book without you. You are the godmother of signs and seasons.